What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN USD. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. It is the 19th day of March. Here we are sitting at about 0.00532. We really haven't gone anywhere in quite some time now. 10 hours, 30 minutes left in this day. We are dropping about 4% on the day. The hopes that I had yesterday that OnyxCoin was dropping less than Bitcoin, and the rationality there went right out the window. We ended up actually closing the day down a little bit more than Bitcoin did, and well, we are down. We're down a little bit more than Bitcoin today as well. We have reasons to move down. We just had a very nice pump up, so of course we're going to come down a little bit. This pump overall from a low to a high was a 46.8% pump, and now we're just making a pullback. Unfortunately, here's the negative side of this. Okay, the negative side is that this Adam and Eve double bottom down here that we were going with, it's, I think at this point, invalidated. I do believe that this is invalidated, right? Because no matter how you cut it, no matter how lenient we are with it, we're below these levels here. I guess if today could come back up and close green, that might be the one saving grace. If today closes green, then maybe this Adam and Eve is still valid because the wicks might not matter as much as the closing price. But we're so far down. I don't think that's what's going to happen right now. What I do think is going to happen is that the curse of the gap will. The curse of the gap needing to be filled is going to be fulfilled. I think that we will come down and fill this gap down here. Once we've done that, that'll likely be a point at which we move up. It's funny how these gaps are, man. We found a gap right there. We found the same gap right there in this area. We even actually gapped up a little bit right there, kind of in the same area overall. I wouldn't be surprised if we came down, found some support, and again, the idea here is that we get a higher low. So there's the good news. The good news is I don't think that this is going to be detrimental to the price. I do believe overall that the structure that we have is still really nice. That structure maintains its niceness so long as it doesn't fail. As long as it doesn't fail. How it fails is if we get lower lows. We don't want lower lows. We want higher lows. We could even go a little bit below 0.005 and still maintain these higher lows. Okay, we still absolutely can. This rounded bottom structure is still very well intact, and beyond this Adam and Eve double bottom pattern, we have a much larger double bottom pattern here to play out. Goliath is launching on the 27th. Did I see? I swear I saw something yesterday that said it was getting pushed earlier. Let's see. Was it from Money Tings? Shout out to Money Tings. Let's see. Only 10 days ago. Nope. I'm pretty sure it will be on the 27th. Not the not earlier. For some reason I thought Money Tings was saying something on the 18th. Wait, but it was the 18th yesterday. Oh, no. He was saying it was an update from the launch pad. That's what it was. Okay, that's. I'm sorry, I'm getting all confused. Disregard everything I've said for the past minute. The 27th is whenever Goliath comes out. As of now, we've got about 8 days until that happens. Maybe like 7 days and 10 hours until that happens, or somewhere around 8 days. I do expect that we'll move up. We're moving down slower than we moved up. Whenever we recover and we move up, we'll probably eviscerate this whole pullback in a matter of 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, whatever. It's not going to be that long. I mean, we really are forming parabolic structure here. This really is good structure. It is parabolic, and with parabolic moves, see, everybody calls this a parabolic move. That's not parabolic, guys. Do you know what a parabola is? Right? Do any of you take calculus? A parabola, it's a curve that gets exponentially faster until you have asymptotic behavior that basically makes it look like it's going straight up. It's like asymptotic behavior is like you're approaching a point without ever actually reaching it, if that makes sense. But you will reach it as time goes on. You will. This parabola won't continue forever, but parabolic behavior. This is not parabolic behavior. People call these parabolic moves, and it's not interchangeable with an insane pump. That's not parabolic. This is parabolic. I'm getting too technical here. I'm very literal, but all I mean is, with parabolic moves, what I'm trying to get to is that these kind of pullbacks are very common. Okay, we go to Bitcoin here. We can look on the weekly time frame. Oh, I'm on Binance. That's why. Hold on. just as a point of reference, okay? That's the whole point. Throughout this whole movement here, you see this was parabolic, right? You can see how it's parabolic there, right? Very, very parabolic. And it just seems like you've reached the tipping point every time. You've reached the tipping point every time, but no, you haven't. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And the drops here, they seem insignificant, but these were 40% drops on the regular, you guys. 40% drops on the regular for Bitcoin. And every time people thought, that's it, the parabolic move is broken out. And it didn't. You maintained this structure. And again, you had this rounded bottom from way back here. It starts off slowly, but it gets more intense as time goes on. That's what we're looking for here. We're getting a little bit of a pullback here. How much is this pullback for being a little bit? That's a 20% pullback already. Theoretically, the pullbacks might even get larger as we continue to pull back, or as we continue to pump, right? But we should be seeing some growth. Right now, I do like this structure. Let's go over the 1 hour time frame. I'll stop talking so much, and let's actually do some TA here. So looking at the 1 hour time frame, I mean, right off the bat, do you guys notice anything that should build confidence that we're not going to drop through the floor? Right off the bat, what I notice is there's just no volume at all, pushing the price down. Nobody wants to sell. Like who wants to sell right now, right? This is just genuine manipulated behavior down. I mean, I don't know if it's manipulated, but just consistent selling down, probably from panic selling. But it's not a whole lot of volume. The volume's coming into the upside. It's absent when we're going down. We're still in this very nice tight consolidation phase here. It gives me a lot of confidence that it will break out to the upside, because volume isn't necessarily just selling or buying, right? Volume is just transactions. That's all it is. Every purchase is a sell. Every sell is a purchase. You're buying it from somebody. You're selling it to somebody every single time. So volume being low or non-existent as the price is doing this tells me that whenever the volume does come in, we will likely have no problem eviscerating this entire range. No volumes coming in at all as we're going down. And again, the reason why I think is because we're all eyes on Goliath, all eyes on the 27th. Who's going to sell here? Only the dummies, right? And that's what this movement is meant for. It's meant to trick the dummies. It's meant to make you sell your coins, whoever it is, at these relative low points. And then we pump, and you'll also, as you sold down here because of your emotions, you'll likely buy here from your emotions, contributing to the market maker's profits both directions, right? That's why they do this stuff, right? Can't make it easy on you. If it was easy, everybody would make money, but that's not how it is. 1 hour RSI, a little bit of a double bottom here. Very bearish RSI on the 1 hour time frame, but we're not getting the same readings in the oversold zone that we were getting in the overbought zone. We're definitely more reluctant to the downside, so that's good, and clearly you can see that with the price. The stochastics are very bearish. You never want to see this kind of reaction, but hey, here we are. The MACD, of course, is bearish as well, but you've got some very beautiful bullish divergence forming there, you guys. I have a feeling. It's Thursday today. We might have another bullish weekend. We'll see. The coming days, if not at least sometime by the end of today or tomorrow, should be bullish. This is a good look. I really like this look a lot on the MACD. It's the 1 hour time frame. Don't get too excited. That bullish divergence could just mean, hey, we move up here and then we're moving back down again. But as long as we're maintaining this kind of consolidation range and not breaking out to the downside, I'm not really too worried about it. The expectation, and I might be getting ahead of myself with this pump. Sorry, guys. The expectation here is that we likely will see prices somewhere around 00515, 005 itself, somewhere down there. So we likely actually don't move up today. I'm sorry, I got a little bit overzealous there. That 1 hour bullish divergence looks nice, but maybe in fact we do just move up to the top end of this range and continue to pull down. You know, we could do that. We could be down there by tomorrow or Saturday. So maybe we're down here. I really do believe that we're going to fulfill the prophecy of filling this gap, and then we'll move up. So I'm sticking with that. Actually, I'm going to stick with that for sure. I'm not going to change my stance there, because these gaps, again, they're not perfect, but damn it if they're not very reliable. Low to high here, coming down to the golden ratio, 00526, 00512, right where Gap City is, right where prior points of resistance are. Makes sense to find support there. We'll probably find support right there. It wouldn't actually make a whole lot of sense to find support right here. And maybe I was too harsh. If we break out of this, I'm not going to be freaking out, man. It's the 1 hour. It's a 1 hour channel. I'm not going to freak out about that. Whatever. You know, here we look at this, we broke out of this, and as soon as we broke out of this, that's whenever we moved up. We still moved down later, but that's beside the point. Um, I think that we will go a little bit lower. Getting a little bit overzealous there. My apologies. Lower lows in the RSI, higher lows in the price. Hidden bullish divergence. Come down to the oversold zone, 4-hour RSI, and bounce prevail for us. Stochastics have been oversold for a little while. We were oversold for a little while here at our last low. We were oversold for a little while here at a relative low. Oversold for a little while here whenever we hit our relative low as well. None of these really created significant bounces, but that's not the point. The point is the reaction of the price, right? Relative lows. We're at a relative low with higher lows overall. I would expect that we recover from here. The MACD is actually back down at the zero. This is a perfect level to bounce. We can still approach these levels and still hold the zero level as support. So I'm liking what I'm seeing here. It tells me that we're getting close to the low, which this wasn't so much of a fond idea up here because, again, from up here we were running with this idea of this Adam and Eve working out, but now it's probably out the window. But overall, we still have a much larger pattern in development here that will likely take us dramatically higher than the targets of this Adam and Eve would have. Looking at this here on the daily time frame, the daily MACD is actually crossing right above the zero, which I think is very positive. These oscillators, the blue line and the orange line, they'll probably come close to touching, and then from there we will bounce sometime either over the weekend or going into next week, like as early as Monday or Tuesday next week. I do think that we're going to see some recovery. Next week should be good. We should finish out this month strong. That's my expectation. We'll probably close the month above 0.007 if I had to guess. Maybe even above 1 cent. We'll see. It's possible that we could close the month much higher than that. I don't want to get overzealous, but we really could see. I wouldn't be completely shocked at all if we did see a move that was bigger than this. But at the moment, the way that this is going, I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of kept parabolic structure going up, but we'll see. Daily stochastics are right at the 50. You're probably going to keep coming down. You can bounce lower. You don't have to bounce right here. I'm not worried about it. The MACD does look nice. The RSI overall on the daily time frame also looks nice. We kind of rejected the overbought zone. We can find support around the 50. Even if we go lower, we find support at the 40. We still have these higher lows here based off that RSI. So I'm not really concerned one way or another. Do we bounce here? Probably not. If we do, cool. I would be glad to be wrong. Do we go lower? Do we go below 0.00515? Probably, but not by much. That's the area that I'm expecting we find support, and then we recover. My expectation overall is one of three outcomes, okay? And they're all very possible. I'm not going to say which one's the most likely, which one's the least likely, because I think they're all probably equivalent as far as likelihood goes. Okay, and we could again go below 0.005. That is possible. If we do go below 0.005, we're not in trouble. We're only in trouble if we take out these lows, which I know nobody wants to hear because that's so far away. But that's just, it is what it is. I expect that one of the first outcomes that we'll see is that we get just below 1 cent, and that's the end of this move. That's the end of this move. Maybe we come back down, we form a higher low overall. Maybe we come back down and we form a lower low. That could be the end of this move, and I'm addressing that right now because I think it's important to address that and accept that as a possible reality. Okay, it's a possible outcome. Second to that, and not second to that as far as likelihood goes, just second to that in the order of addressing these possibilities, I do believe that we could see prices that are somewhere around 1 cent to 1.15 cent, and again, that could be the end of the move there. Third to that, and again, this doesn't make it any more likely or any less likely. Just because it's further away does not mean that it's any more likely or less likely. We would stop somewhere in this range. This is the one that I'm personally in favor of. That doesn't make it more likely or less likely, okay? 1.7 cents to 2.5 cents. This is the target area that we've had in mind really since we've been down in these areas. Any of these outcomes are possible. We'll address the price action as we go through these areas and see if we can't figure out what the most probable is as we go. If I get the implication that this is the end of this move and that we're going to sell off, which I probably won't get that implication, but if we do get that implication, maybe I'll advocate for taking some profits, or if people have bought around this area, maybe taking slight losses, whatever. Ideally that wouldn't be what happens. Ideally we're not just going to form this rounded, whoops, I can't draw, rounded, I can draw actually, I just can't draw on this, rounded bottom, double bottom, W shape that should take us above here. What was I saying? I got distracted, man. Ideally, with this structure, we wouldn't just see something so pathetic as this, but it's possible. Ideally, we would get above this high. I mean, this structure definitely has serious implications. But I don't really have anything else to say. I think I've said everything I need to say. Hit that like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves, all right? We're just waiting, man. And again, this is something that I talked about down here last week. We're moving down right now, but still, we're still building bullish momentum. It's very positive to see the weekly MACD show this bullish divergence, build bullish momentum. It's not ideal that it died off and it was so small, but the fact that it's building now is very encouraging, right? We want these readings to get larger than this. It doesn't have to be by much. The bigger the better, of course, but we want these readings to get above this. So I think over the coming weeks that will happen. That's the hope. That's the expectation. And as long as that happens, I think that we're in really good shape. We want the stochastics to come out of the oversold zone. That would also look really nice. And of course, if the RSI cannot reject the 50, if we can move up, that'd be good. So maybe we move down, fill that gap, 00515 or lower, fill that gap, and then on Sunday we pump. That'd be great. I would love it if this week would close green. I'm not really expecting that right now, but if that happened, I think that'd be really good because we'd have both the stochastics out of the oversold zone. Obviously, we'd be building on the MACD like we are now, and the RSI would cross above the 50 as well. So there's a bunch of positives that come from that. Even if this week closes red, we're fine, so long as we're maintaining higher lows. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.